Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and the world has ended. Nah, I'm just playing. In this comic, the world is about to end to fire. We are picking up where we left off in firepower. The serpent, the great serpent, has been released, and it's up to Owen and his boys to bring it down. But first, they must recover, because right now they are stuck, hunted by zombie Shaolin monks, ninjas, and assassins. And oh, they just saw a dragon. They were all shocked, still frozen, unable to think or process what they just saw. A dragon, the dragon of myth and legend, not even the type of dragon with wings. These ones walk on the cloud. They were terrified. The kids were terrified because honestly, they were legit just kids. But Owen was a good dad. He made sure to comfort them exactly when they needed it. And they really needed it at this point because the battle wasn't over and yet they still had to move. But one person didn't want to move. His daughter was still frozen in place. While all this was going on, we follow a master strolling in a marketplace. Everyone is curious about him. Everyone is afraid of him. And when he sees a shopkeeper being robbed of her fish, he decides to intervene, tossing his side blade and knocking the thief to the ground. The thief was curious. He wanted to fight, but he just knocked him out again, making sure to return the fish that was stolen. He was a nice guy. He was a polite guy. When he took fruit, he paid for it. But just then, the unexpected happened. Boom. Something crushed the whole city all at once. A dragon. Hundreds of people died. While this was going on, Owen was still trying to comfort his daughter, and she was daddy's girl, because after a quick talking to, she got on her feet and left the cave, ready for action. And honestly, they were heading into action because they had been tracked down by the zombies and they had a battle to fight. Owen, realizing how dangerous this was, unleashed the flames, protecting everyone around him. He was kind of like the MVP, fighting like Firelord Zuko. But the thing is, even Firelord Zuko could be blindsided, and he was blindsided. One of the zombies unleashed a snake directly onto Owen, and he was possessed. And everyone knew this was bad, because Owen was not only a ninja master and a Shaolin master, he wielded the firepower. He was a threat, and he wasn't Owen anymore. As quick as a ninja master, he struck his daughter, knee to the chest. He wasn't even holding back on his son, striking him and screaming, "Get back, fool. You have no power." His wife saw this with tears in her eyes. This was the man she loved, and she had to take him down. But Shorty had no hope. He grabbed a hold of her face and smacked her down with all of his strength with one hand. She was out, and that triggered his kids. Both of them, even his son, who previously didn't have the firepower, unleashed an attack strong enough to burn the snake and both knock him out. He was done. Thankfully, he was back, and his kids were happy to tell him, "Yeah, I'm sorry I blasted you in the chest, but I have the firepower now." But for some reason, this family always seems to think shit's sweet. Bruh, you are in the middle of a battlefield. Focus on the battle. They weren't like the master, who was full on focused and ready to take down a goddamn dragon. But thankfully, he didn't have to, because the government was here and they had jets. But this was a mythical dragon. They shot missiles. It was a good try, honestly. But the dragon just shook it off and kept flying. It wasn't even planning on attacking them. It didn't register them as a threat to its life until its master commanded, "Strike them down. Show them what you can do." And then the dragon went crazy. It started killing for killing's sake, biting jets apart. Even while the pilots tried to escape, it ate the pilots. It went crazy and still focused on destroying the city. This was a boss move. This was a dragon move. Thankfully, Owen and his family were having much luck. They had finished their battle, freeing everyone from the grasp of the snakes. But sadly, their enemies started to realize that they were probably on the wrong side. They apologized and showed regret for the people they had lost. But Owen was the forgiving type, and so was his master. becoming friends instantly. But again, this was not even the time to be friendly. Not only was Owen happy that his ex-girlfriend was alive in front of his wife, funniest meme ever, they were still absolutely freaking surrounded by their enemies, or rather their friends possessed by snakes. They had no choice but to lock in, unlike the president who came forward and asked the master of snakes for his demands. But this offended the master. Demands? He leaped from the dragon's back, unleashing two snakes that killed the bodyguards, moving straight through their chests like bullets. Using the remaining snake on his body like tentacles, he pulled the president closer. I don't have any demands, weakling. You are less than. I am greater. When you see me, you submit. All of you submit. And the president bowed his head to someone who conquered him and made him submit like a coward. He was weak, but Owen and his family were strong. The battle was over, and everyone was freed from the possession of the snakes. Everyone was freed. His kids did battle, so did his wife. Today was a good day. People died, yes, but they came out on top, and now they had to plan their next move. Thankfully, Ling's father promised them safe haven on his island. And more good news, they had an army to support them. They were going to save the world, but Owen didn't know how. Everyone was looking to him for guidance, but he didn't know how to take down a dragon. But thankfully, it seems like someone was about to take down the dragon for him, because while the president ran away with his tail between his legs, someone pulled up to the master of serpents. He sensed he was in danger and turned around to meet another master, saying, I sized you up, little man. I cannot take your dragon, but I sure as shit can take you down. And the master of serpent laughed. He said, okay, I commanded this beast, but if you want to go a few rounds, let's go.